up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, my name is Amanda. Today we are doing a video on a little bit of a different topic. I'm actually here to give you guys a house building update. If you've been following my channel, I'm sure that you noticed in the content lineup that I had a life update with a house being built and things like that. So if you haven't watched that yet, I suggest watching that first because there's sort of an intro to this topic regarding the start of that. But what I'm going to do today is, and I'm not just going to be sitting here boring just talking to you, I'm going to be showing you pictures and videos of different home models and different material selections and the process that we've gone through so far, from buying to going to the design studio to picking out our material selections and all of those different types of things, just to really break down the process for you, whether you're interested in it or not, or you just like seeing some home inspo. There will definitely be some home inspo from the model homes that I'm including in some of the clips here, but really the point of this is to really kind of get into detail about what to expect when going into buying a home, kind of preparing you for the things that you need to think about when you're going into the design studio or when you're making your selections for building your home. Hopefully I remember everything and I touch on all those important details. I've made a list and written an outline so that I don't forget something. Not saying that I won't, because I'm not perfect, but let's just get started from the beginning and the process of our new home build. So if you guys don't know, I am now living in Arizona. I am from California. We moved here a couple years ago because we had the intention of buying a home, building a home, whatever it may be. And Arizona is one of those spots that's really building a lot of new builds. And there are so many to choose from. The market finally came down a little bit. It was the right time to buy. So really the first step of all of it was reviewing the home site that you're interested in, or the different home sites, going in person, taking a look at the models and all of those things. And then once you've selected the floor plan that you like, really the next step is to go into the office if you're ready to buy and sit down with one of the agents, let them know the floor plan that you're interested in. And what they will do from there is they will show you the lots that are available in the community that they're building. So before we go into that any further, let me give you the benefits, or at least what I feel are benefits to a new build and why I felt like it was a good idea. One of the benefits that I have found is with a lot of these new builds, there's the concept of community. And what that means is a lot of these communities that they're building in neighborhoods. They'll have a huge neighborhood community, but there'll be sub-neighborhoods with different floor plans or home styles, if you will, and different price points in those neighborhoods. So that's kind of the way that they build the community. Usually these communities are gated and they have a community center in the middle of it for all of the sub-neighborhoods within the gated community. What I love about this is a lot of these new builds also are not including a builder for pools. So I think at the beginning, before the pandemic, a lot of these builders were including basically subcontracting someone to build the pool for you. If you like the style of pool that they offer, it would be considered an upgrade. Now they don't offer that option. You basically have to finish building your house and go with a builder for a pool after it's already completed. So the benefit that I was getting to with the community center is that there's usually a big pool, a jacuzzi, a party room, a pool table, a big TV, and several outside gathering areas for big parties, a playground, a basketball hoop, so many things, all the things that you could want in a community, really. So with those amenities that they offer, there's always usually an HOA. Our HOA is actually very affordable, under $200 a month, which is pretty good. For the benefit of having a pool, a gathering area, a party area, somewhere where you can have birthday parties, get-togethers, barbecues, things like that, it's really worth it. Another huge benefit to going with a new build, in my opinion, is that a lot of them are more eco-friendly. So when I say that, I mean they're using upgraded options like water-saving toilets, energy-saving lighting usually. And I say usually because they could have done a little bit better in that area. Thermostat controlled by an app on your phone. Alarm systems like ours come with a Ring doorbell. All of the homes, I believe, in the community come with a Ring doorbell. So they consider all of these homes to be smart homes, which basically means that while you're away on vacation, you can unlock the door for someone, you can turn off the thermostat from your phone. There's so many really cool things like tech things included with a lot of these new homes, but on top of that, they're more eco-friendly, which basically saves you money in your energy bills. When you're ready to buy, you've selected your floor plan, you will then be asked to select your elevation style. Your elevation style is basically the style of the outside of the home. They offer several different styles based on the floor plan that you pick, and then after that, you're also selecting a color scheme for your elevation. So all of the elevations have a certain number of color schemes that you have to select from. Some of them had funky front door colors, but you can change your front door. It's considered an upgrade. If not, you'll have, like, I saw some weird color schemes with like a bright orange door, and I think it's cool to have a pop of color, but it's not for everyone. So they include different styles of elevation, like a farmhouse style, desert modern style, what they call prairie, which I don't really know what style it's considered, but it looks modern. So just to give you an idea, those are some of the things that you have to think about initially. Some of the other things you have to think about initially are structural upgrades. Structural upgrades are things basically that affect the build of your home and the outline of your home, if you will. For example, if you are doing a fully open sliding door that goes from wall to wall, that's considered a structural upgrade because it affects the actual structure of the home. One of the main structural upgrades that we added was a guest suite, or it's called a next gen suite, and that is a guest bedroom with its own bathroom and a living space. Other structural upgrades, for example, are things in the bathroom. If you're doing floor to ceiling glass enclosure, that's considered a structural change. And some of the electrical items. So let's get into electrical. And these are things that you wouldn't typically think, oh, this is a list of things that I need to know or think about, but it's very important. Hardwiring electrical for a fan on your outside patio in Arizona. It's very common to have fans outside. If you live here, then you know. If you're from California like me, you would never think, oh, I'm gonna need a fan on my outside patio, but you absolutely do. Some other things are, for example, a hose bib. So when you go to the back of your house, how many spots do you have to plug in a hose or have access to water, basically? We decided to add one to the other side of the house so that you have a hose bib on both sides and you can use a hose from either side, or for if you're doing landscaping and irrigation and things like that. One of the other options was routing a gas line to the outside if you plan to do an outside kitchen or if you ever might want to in the future. Some other things besides electrical were like plumbing upgrades. Are you going to have a sink in your laundry room? If so, that's a plumbing upgrade. So those are the first selections that you'll be making in your appointment with the salesperson before you even get to the design studio. It's the structural upgrades, elevation, color scheme of the elevation. You can take your time to make those decisions, because once those decisions are made, that's when you put your deposit down. So really you have that time to kind of make up your mind and take your time. It's a little different with the design studio. You've made your selections, they've sent you out the contract, you sign the contract, then you make your deposit. You put down, I believe it was 20%, and that's if you are taking out a loan. What we found is if you want to pay all cash, they actually require a larger percentage of a down payment. That's something worth asking, I think. Is there a different deposit percentage required for all cash versus a loan? There will also be another deposit payment required once you've made your selections at the design studio. So let's head to the design studio. Different builders give you different options as far as design studio appointments and how long they are and how many of them you get. Our builder gives you 2 appointments that are, I believe, 8 hours long each, if I remember correctly. Different builders may have 1 appointment, some have 3. Ours did kind of tell us, you know, if you're really stuck and you can't make a decision, we might be able to fit you in for another appointment. We didn't need to do that. We went to the design studio, and this is where I highly recommend that you have an idea in your head of what you want your home to look like, at least as far as like flooring, color, kitchen cabinet color, and things like that. If you have no idea going into it, it's going to be very overwhelming. Me personally, I have a Pinterest board. I was ready. I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted something timeless. I didn't want all white. I wanted some depth, contrast, and natural colors. So it's good to have an overall idea of what you want the aesthetic of your overall home to look like. That will help a lot going into the design studio. So we got to our appointment, and if you've never been to a design studio, it's a lot like if you've ever been to, I don't know, a tile store, for example, Bedrosians, they basically have mock-ups of kitchens, bathrooms, and things like that, where you can kind of see it in real time, what it looks like, what a countertop looks like in the kitchen, what a backsplash looks like, what the cabinets look like, and things like that. So it's like any other kind of design center. Even if you go to Lowe's has a design center. It's a lot smaller scale, but it's just like going to any other design center and seeing mock-ups of a kitchen or a bathroom. We started with what I felt was the most important, which was primary flooring. When I say primary, I mean like the main flooring in the home.
Yeah, I agree. I like these two actually. I'm starting to like this more beige color and less of the gray. Well, actually, gosh.
So this series is called Oasis Oak, and that style is called Worthington.
Worthington, okay. And
that one's more,
perspectives.
yep. And then these are both
Oasis Oak.
and this one's a Mariner Oak.
I really like the tone of that.
And kitchen cabinets. My mom is an interior designer and has been for many years, so she was very helpful in the process. She's very good with colors and making sure things match properly, and her eye is just different for things like that. So what we did was, originally we started with the flooring, but when we started looking at the cabinet doors, we weren't finding that they were meshing well with the flooring that we selected. And there were a lot more flooring options than there were cabinet options. So we changed up the direction. We selected the cabinet option first because I really wanted that light kind of natural wood stained cabinet. Those natural materials and light woods and things like that are, not only are they very in and just really coming back hard, but it's something that I've always loved and feels very timeless to me, so it's not something I will get sick of. And also, if I wanted to paint them in the future, I can paint them. If you get a painted cabinet, you can't go back to a stained cabinet, if that makes sense. So for me, it was definitely a good way to start with stained cabinets, and I'm sure that I'm gonna love it. I will probably never paint them, let's be honest. We took the cabinet door to the flooring samples to make sure that the flooring meshed well with the cabinet doors, which was a better way to go. And that was kind of our core and what we started with. From there, we selected the countertop and then the backsplash. I love the backsplash.
Love it.
Love it.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about kitchens. Something that I wasn't really thinking ahead of as far as what we would be expected to select were cabinet styles. When I say cabinet styles, I mean like pull-out drawers that roll out, and special drawers for trash and recycling and things like that. So when you're selecting your kitchen cabinets, you also then have to go and select, okay, what size cabinets are we gonna have on the lowers? And are we gonna have a special cabinet for the trash? How is all of that gonna configure with the different size of drawers that we need and things like that? So you have to kind of also plan out what you want your kitchen drawers to be like and how it's gonna function for you. That's not something that I thought about. It's something that my mom thought about because she's done this a few times, so thank God for her, but not something I thought about. So if you're going into something like this, definitely think about how you want your kitchen to function and what types of drawers you want where. Another thing in the kitchen area that I wasn't expecting was they asked us, what direction do you want your electrical plates to be, or your electrical outlets? And they said, if you turn them sideways, they'll be lower to the counter and it will take less space from your backsplash tile. And I was like, what? And I don't know why I never noticed this before, but I've seen outlets like this. So we did opt to turn the outlets sideways and bring them closer to the countertop so you could have more seamless backsplash. And I picked a gorgeous honed chevron natural stone backsplash, which I'm so excited for. You can also choose to have it go all the way up to the ceiling where the range hood will be. We just had it stop at the range hood. Another thing too is appliance packages. So they come with a standard kitchen option, which has like a slide-in range. We decided to upgrade to, I think it's the chef's kitchen, which has a cooktop, a built-in oven and microwave, and range hood. Very excited about that. I'm getting a gas cooktop this time. I'm actually very excited about that. And they have some really nice upgraded appliance packages. The only thing is that the refrigerator is sold separately. So little tip here is, when you're purchasing these packages and upgrades, there is a markup on them because you're doing it through a designer. The designer, I'm assuming this is where the extra markup goes. The designers have to get paid for their job. So every upgrade that you select is going to be a little bit more than what you would pay retail for, because they're getting paid to assist you in the process. So for example, the refrigerator that goes with our package, I think they were charging, we found it for a couple $1,000s less in store in Lowe's, I think. So we decided we're just gonna purchase that separately. In that first appointment, we made all of our main selections until tomorrow. What do we pick tomorrow? What are we picking tomorrow? In the kitchen and the main living area, we selected hardwood flooring throughout. So now we have the core of the home together. We kind of know what everything is gonna look like. Moving on to bathrooms, we got to the bathroom area, and like I mentioned before, one of our structural upgrades that we selected for the primary bathroom is the spa bath, which includes a freestanding tub, a floor-to-ceiling glass enclosure for the shower, and then floor-to-ceiling tile in the shower. So at first, and that was a pretty big upgrade, not gonna lie, it was like $6,000 and something, but originally I thought it was just to change the built-in tub option to a freestanding, but then when we got to the design center, I realized it includes the floor-to-ceiling glass enclosure and floor-to-ceiling tile. So I think it was worth it personally. So when you're getting to the bathroom, you have to think about vanity. That's where we started. We started with the bathroom vanity, and we decided to keep all of the cabinets in the house the same. So same cabinets as the kitchen in the bathrooms. They actually only allow you to have 2 different cabinet types in the entire house. You then select your countertops, so you can upgrade the countertops if you want to. We upgraded them only in the primary. What comes standard is white, I don't know if it's marble or porcelain countertop, but just plain white. And then from then, you also have to choose the sink style. The sink style that it comes with are, if you've ever seen in apartments, the round kind of soup bowl styles. That was a no, even though we decided to do the square, more modern undermounted sink for the primary bathroom. Even though the sinks retail for about $200 at Lowe's and Home Depot, I'm pretty sure, and the design center marked it up at least $100. So yeah, but that's not something you want to go back and change later. So it was kind of like we didn't really have a choice. You also then are selecting your plumbing fixtures. So didn't realize this either, but when you select your plumbing fixtures, it's going to be the same throughout the house in all of the bathrooms. I selected black fixtures. I already knew that I wanted this, and that includes the faucets, the shower plumbing fixtures, the deck mounted faucet on the freestanding tub. So literally all the plumbing fixtures in the bathroom, black, love it. even probably the drain, I think. And then from there, you also have to think about flooring in the bathroom. So I decided that I wanted a very serene kind of spa-like look, and I really wanted everything to be simple and not overdone. I feel like it's more timeless that way, and you can do a lot more with that. So we went with a 12 by 24, kind of like not concrete look, but natural, kind of a concrete look. And we kept that the same on the floor of the bathroom, on the walls of the shower, and then on the floor of the shower, it's the same tile, but it's a mosaic tile, so they're little square shapes, which actually I think is going to be a nice breakup. And then something else I didn't think of too is you have to decide what direction the tile is going to run in. And what I mean is the longer piece going to go vertical or horizontal in your bathroom, and same for the walls. You also have to select grout color for the tile. We went with grout that was going to be seamless and blend in and not stand out, to give it a little bit more of a seamless, serene look. Now moving on to the kids' bathroom, and I call it the kids' bathroom because it's literally their bathroom upstairs. It comes with one sink. It also comes with an option to add a privacy wall and door from the toilet to the shower. So you would just have, basically you'd have the sinks open, and then you could add a door to the toilet and shower so somebody else could be showering. We didn't do that. We didn't really feel like it was too important. So what we did upgrade in their bathroom is we added another sink. So they each have their own sink. We kept with the standard countertop, which is a white porcelain or marble, I'm not really sure what it is, and a built-in modern square shaped sink. And then the tile in there is a nice 12 by 12 tile that is a really nice color that goes with the cabinets really well, I think. So we were able to save some money by doing some minor upgrades, but still making it look cohesive and nice. And they're still gonna have the nice black plumbing fixtures, which I think will give it a nice accent, kind of an upgraded, elevated look from anything standard or basic. Another thing you're gonna have to think about in the primary bathroom, at least, or really any bathroom, shower specifically, is are you gonna have a niche built in, which is like a little built-in square where you can set your products on it. And then they also have the option to add a bench at the end of the shower, or really any area of the shower that you want to, I believe. We did opt to add a bench, so I'm very excited about that. And that is with tile built all around it too. So I'll show you some examples of that in the home models because there's some really pretty ones. And for the kids' bathroom, what comes standard is a fiberglass shower enclosure. That's like a white plastic. We did not want that. Did stick with a tub shower, so it was an upgrade to add the tile surround in their shower. We also added the tile surround in the downstairs shower in the guest suite. So we've made all of our selections at the design studio now, and then kind of what comes at the end is your paint color. You know, you're making sure you selected your grout color, but also
it to eggshell paint.
So what is the finish then?
Can you choose eggshell?
Not with standard Dover white, you can't. So if you keep it standard Dover white,
It's flat.
everything is flat, but the wet areas and obviously the doors and trim would be
Right.
semi-gloss.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you like snowbound, we do have an option to upgrade snowbound from flat to eggshell for $6,490.
Also towards the end is electrical again, and these are not the ones that I talked about before where they're structural upgrades. These are like if you want to add extra outlets in the house and if you want to add extra can lighting. So this is very important in my opinion because I did not pre-think, okay, it would be really nice to have an outlet here. It'd be really nice to have an extra light here. My mom was very helpful with that again. But I also wish that I had a little bit more time to really think that through and decide, do I really want, should I add another outlet here? Should I add one in this room? You know, things like that, because outlets are those things that can make life so much more convenient. You also have to think about where your TVs are going to be mounted. The home came with standard TV mounts in every room that you would typically watch a TV, but you have to decide what wall the TV is going to be mounted on. So you have to have that time to think about what extra outlets are you going to want to add, where are your TVs going, and do you have enough lighting in every area. So we definitely added some extra can lighting downstairs in the near the kitchen area. We also added an extra pendant light, or maybe two, because I think it only came pre-wired for one. So we have 3 pendant light pre-wires. We added an outlet to our closet for, I don't know, like a steamer, a vacuum, things like that. You can also in the laundry room add, and this is where I kind of wish I had added an extra larger outlet, because I'm thinking it'd be nice to have a little mini fridge in the laundry room upstairs, but you want to have a dedicated outlet for something like that. So we have the standard outlets in the laundry room, but I kind of do wish I had added a dedicated outlet for something like a mini fridge. So those are some tiny little things that I feel are very important to making your everyday life more convenient that you wouldn't necessarily think about going into building a house. So you've completed the electrical options in the design center, and at this point you've completed all your selections, you've decided everything for your house. They then they print out a sheet of everything that you've selected, they send you home, they let you kind of sit on it for a couple days, or at least ours did, because there's a cutoff date for when your selections have to be turned in for the builder, because there's a timeline for everything. So we still had a couple days at that point, and that's a tip I recommend, is maybe setting your appointments far enough ahead of time, if they have availability, to give you that extra time to make sure that you're confident in your decisions. If you're indecisive or you don't know what you're going into, that will be helpful for you. And maybe even setting the appointments a couple days apart so that you have time to think about those different decisions that you made, and you can change them in the next appointment if you want to. So once you've decided all your selections are the ones, you then they'll send you a DocuSign, you sign everything off and confirm your selections. I don't really know at what point you can not go back and make any selections, but I'm pretty sure from that point on you can't, because once you've confirmed your selections, you then have to put down 10% of those upgrades that you've selected. So let's say you've added $100,000 in upgrades, you also have to pay them 10% down for those upgrades. So you've made your deposit for the home for the base price, now you're making a deposit for your upgrades. 2 payments, okay? 2 down payments. And they say going into the design center that the upgrade amount is, I think, like 20% of the base price. People typically upgrade about 20%. I hope that that's correct, but at least that's what I remember in my head. And that was pretty spot on for us. We might have gone over that just a little bit because of our structural upgrades that we selected. Before you go into the design center, talk to the salespeople and get an idea of what people typically spend in upgrades so that you can budget appropriately for what your down payment will be for the upgrades that you've selected. So at this point, we've signed everything off, made the deposit on the upgrade selections, and then the next part is to meet with the construction manager. And the construction manager is the one who is basically overseeing all the homes being built, but each home site, I was told, also has their own manager. So the construction manager is managing everyone, and then your home, I believe, will have its own manager, or at least ours does. You meet with the construction manager, you basically confirm all of the selections that you've made with the design center, and he kind of went over, the tile, the materials that we selected. He briefly went over all of the options with us. He also talks about safety and when you're allowed to visit the home site. The appointment is about an hour long, or at least ours. Well, mine went a little bit longer because he took me out to the site and to another house actually. Everything is opposite. They have the full shower without the tub option in here. Oh, whoops. Typically, I think the appointment is about an hour. For our job site, we are allowed to visit once the roof is up. Once all the framing and the roof is on top, we're allowed to visit the home site. He did say that you have to visit with a hard hat, which they provide for you. He didn't say that you can't come at a certain time, or at least while they're working or anything like that. You can come while people are working, but they work super early and they're gone usually by 2 or 3. So in my opinion, it's best to just go once people are clearing out for the day, so you're not really in the way, which is probably what I'll do. But yeah, they don't allow you to enter the site until the roof is on top, it's settled, and framing is fully secure. He did also say that once the building actually goes underway, that they would be calling us every week with an update, just to kind of let us know where we are in progress with the home. He goes over a timeline as far as when completion is estimated for. And the thing that I really liked about him is he was really proactive on getting our site started. So before I even met with him, he already broke ground.
Really?
That's like on schedule, yeah.
So this is the outline, basically?
Yeah, that orange flag you see back there on the wall, that's
Yeah.
the property card.
Okay, got it. And then that brick wall, is that going to be the same that's on the side?
No,
Okay.
the sides here will be the cinder blocks.
Okay. Oh yeah, you did say that.
That doesn't mean that he built anything, but he saved 2 weeks just by turning the soil and testing it, which is something that has to be done because it's land that hasn't been built on. So they're required to test the material of the soil and turn the soil and make sure it's prepped properly for the build. During that meeting, he took me to my site, which I already knew where it was. He kind of explained where the property lines and things like that. He also took me to a similar floor plan that was in the process of being built that was similar to mine. And the reason he did that is because we have a very unique floor plan that has a guest suite downstairs, which most of the homes in the neighborhood don't have, and there's no model for it. This is literally the only other house being built that has that option that we could see. So he took me in there so that I could see the actual layout in person of the guest suite, the living space of it, and all of that. And it was really fun to see it because they already had countertops in. This is for my parents when they come to, that's the whole reason we had this put in, is so that my parents had a place to stay.
Where's that,
Oh, closet, okay. So yeah, and this just stays open, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
This is technically like the
living, yeah.
and then this is a flex for a laundry, but
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know if this shelf is supposed to be there. I just put it in, so yeah, I just put it in the shelf too.
And then closet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the room. Very nice.
Yeah.
And meeting with the construction manager is very helpful because they give you a lot of information on timeline, and usually those are the questions that people buying the home are wanting to know. How long is this going to take? What's the process? What are the steps? They allow you to bring in your own inspectors if you want to. You have to let them know ahead of time. There is also another midpoint construction meeting sort of midway. I think probably once framing is up, just to kind of like gather, go over additional things, etc. So that's where we are today. I'll include some clips of the progress of the build right now. We have plumbing in, and I think they're getting ready to pour the cement, so it's very exciting. I really hope that I included enough tidbits and information to make this helpful but also fun, and that is the gist of the home building update, and I'm really excited to be creating home content and getting into that sort of space of content. So I hope you guys enjoy that and follow us along for the journey. Don't forget to subscribe so that you get to see the full process of everything. And of course, I will do another update video once we have more updates to provide. So next week will be a fashion video as always. But thank you so much for watching this one. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.